Ever feel like even like the most ordinary things have like hidden depths to them?
Hmm.
Well, that's what we're going to be diving into today. It's about watering hoses,
Oh, wow.
but not just any watering hose.
Okay.
This is about a blog post from canmeng.org, and it's by a guy named Eng.
Okay.
And he calls himself a software plumber, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get this.
Yeah.
He's on like his 77th home improvement post.
Wow. He's really into it.
Yeah. So he clearly knows his stuff when it comes to like
Yeah.
fixing things around the house.
For sure.
And this post is all about how he decided to upgrade his watering hose.
Okay.
But not just replace it, you know? Like his old one still worked.
Right.
He specifically wanted an upgraded version 2 model. And that's what I thought was so interesting. Like
Yeah.
why go through the trouble? What's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, what's the value there?
That's it. It's about finding value beyond just the upfront cost.
I see.
Like what makes a version 2 watering hose actually worth it?
Yeah. Well, and that actually ties into a really interesting concept called design thinking.
Okay, I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but I usually associate it with like tech and stuff.
It is big in tech,
Yeah.
but it can be applied to anything.
Oh, really?
Even watering hoses.
Okay, so what is it exactly?
Well, it's all about like really deeply understanding the user's needs and their experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and then using that understanding to like optimize a product or a process to best meet those needs.
I see.
And it can lead to some really clever innovations, even in something as seemingly simple as a watering hose.
Right, and speaking of that,
Yeah.
Aang actually included this photo on his blog comparing the original hose to the version 2 one.
Okay.
But the thing is, they look almost identical. Like it's
Mhm.
not some radical redesign or anything.
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, what are we even supposed to be looking for here?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of design thinking.
Okay.
The biggest changes aren't always the most obvious ones. So let's take a look at that shorter, more rigid grip that Aang mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, he did talk about that.
Right. Now, that might seem like a minor detail,
I guess so, yeah.
but think about the physics involved here.
Okay, I'm listening.
A shorter grip actually changes the leverage you have when you're controlling the hose,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're dealing with like high water pressure.
Oh, I see.
It's the same principle as like using a wrench.
Yeah.
You know, a longer handle gives you more torque.
Right, right.
So by shortening and stiffening that grip, the designers might have actually made the hose much easier to maneuver and control.
That's a really good point. I never thought about it that way. But it makes sense, like, even with like computer mice or pens or anything you hold, really.
Absolutely.
Like those little ergonomic tweaks can make such a big difference in how comfortable they are to use.
Exactly. It's all about those small but impactful improvements.
Yeah.
And you know, Aang also mentioned that the version 2 hose felt a lot more robust and it had better water pressure.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
And this ties into another big part of design thinking, understanding materials and their properties.
You mean like how some hoses are made from like that floozy plastic that can't handle high pressure?
Yeah,
And others use something more durable?
exactly.
Okay.
And this is where the idea of like value versus cost really comes into play.
Okay.
Because Aang actually mentioned that he had tried cheaper hoses in the past,
Right.
only to have them like burst under pressure.
Oh, yeah, that's happened to me too.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah. And then you end up spending more money in the long run anyway because you have to keep replacing them.
Exactly. Sometimes you really do get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So investing a little bit more in like a well-designed, durable product that uses better materials,
Yeah.
it can actually save you money and frustration down the line.
It's like that saying, buy cheap, buy twice.
Exactly. And it seems like Aang is definitely in it for the long haul here.
Yeah. He's serious about his hoses.
Because he even said that he's going to put the version 2 hose through a year of heavy use to really test out how durable it is.
It's like his own personal beta test.
Exactly. Just like
Yeah.
you do with software.
So he's treating his gardening tools the same way he'd treat a new piece of software.
It's a really rigorous approach.
But it makes sense, you know, if you're relying on something to work consistently, whether it's a hose or an app or whatever,
Yeah,
you want to know it can handle what you're going to throw at it,
absolutely.
no matter what.
And what's really interesting is that this methodical, testing-focused approach seems to show up in other areas of Aang's life, too.
Oh, right. Like what?
Well, remember we mentioned he also does coding
Yeah.
and even fish keeping.
Right. That's true.
So it seems like this version 2 mindset,
Mm.
this drive for continuous improvement,
Yeah.
it's not just about hoses for him.
It's a pattern.
Exactly. It's something deeper.
So then how does this design thinking thing apply to other parts of his life, like his coding or his fish tanks?
I'm glad you asked. Let's explore that a little
Yep.
further.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, so like looking at Aang's website, you can tell he's got like a lot of interests outside of home improvement. Like coding, writing, even fish keeping.
Oh, wow.
It makes you wonder if like this really meticulous, like tested out approach we see with the hose
Right.
carries over into these other hobbies too.
It's a great observation, and it really speaks to a bigger point, I think, about like how certain mindsets
Okay.
can manifest in different parts of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like Aang's background as a software plumber,
Right.
it might actually be shaping how he approaches these other activities.
So you're saying there's like a connection between how he debugs code and how he chooses a watering hose.
Exactly.
Ah.
Because in software development, there's this constant cycle of testing, iterating, refining.
Mm.
You're always looking for ways to improve efficiency and functionality.
Yeah.
And that same mentality could easily translate to like optimizing a fish tank's filtration system or figuring out the most efficient way to organize a coding project.
It's like he's applying the same problem-solving framework, but to different things.
Exactly. It's not just about the specific tools or techniques. It's more about a way of thinking.
And that brings us back to design thinking.
It does, but on a more like personal level this time.
Okay.
It's about being intentional and thoughtful about how we approach things, even like really mundane, everyday tasks.
It's like that saying, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily about being perfect.
Okay.
It's more about constantly looking for ways to improve, to optimize,
Yeah.
to find those little upgrades that can really make a difference.
So what can we learn from all this? From Aang's Watering Hose Chronicles.
Ooh, I like that. The Watering Hose Chronicles.
Yeah.
I think the big takeaway here is that this mindset of continuous improvement,
Yeah?
of seeking out those version 2 moments,
Right.
it's not just limited to tech or home improvement or whatever.
It can apply to anything.
Exactly. It could be finding a more ergonomic chair for your desk
Okay.
or completely rethinking how you manage your time.
Wow. So it can be big or small.
Exactly. The point is to be open to those subtle but really impactful changes, those little tweaks that can have a big effect on your well-being and your effectiveness.
So next time I use a watering hose,
Yeah.
I should be thinking about Aang and his quest for the perfect version 2.
Yes. And more importantly,
Okay.
think about what in your own life could benefit from that same level of intentionality and attention to detail.
Like, what's that one thing that I use all the time, but could be just a little bit better?
Exactly. Could be a tool, a system, a habit, even just a way of thinking.
Maybe I've been settling for the version 1 for too long.
Maybe.
It's time to embrace the version 2 revolution.
That's it.
Who knows? Maybe my little upgrade will inspire someone else to make their own.
I love that. Because after all, we're all in this constant state of evolution together, right?
That's a great way to put it. It's kind of crazy to think about how, like, Aang's simple blog post about a watering hose has, like, sparked this whole conversation about design thinking, continuous improvement and everything.
It really shows how even, like, the most ordinary things can teach us something.
Yeah.
If we're, like, willing to look for it.
And it's not even just about the objects themselves.
No.
It's about taking that same approach and applying it to like all parts of our lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whether it's like refining a work process or finding a faster way to commute or even just like tweaking a recipe.
Exactly.
All those tiny version 2 improvements can really add up over time.
It's like what athletes talk about with those
What's it called?
marginal gains.
Oh, yeah.
Where they make these little adjustments to their technique or their training.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads to like big improvements in their performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like those small gains add up in sports.
Yeah.
They can do the same thing in our everyday lives too, leading to more efficiency and productivity and just overall well-being.
Totally.
But where do we even begin? It's kind of overwhelming to think about like constantly upgrading everything.
Well, I think a good starting point is just becoming more aware of those version 1 moments in our lives.
Okay.
The things we do on autopilot without really thinking about them.
Oh, like how I always take the same route to work, even though there might be a faster one.
Exactly. Or the way you organize your inbox.
Oh, yeah, that's a mess.
Once we've like identified those areas,
Okay.
then we can start asking ourselves, is there a better way?
A version 2 approach.
Right. Something that would make the task more efficient or enjoyable or effective.
And it doesn't have to be like a huge change, right?
Nope, not at all.
Sometimes the smallest tweaks can have the biggest impact.
Remember Aang's shorter hose grip.
Right. Who would have guessed that such a tiny change could make watering the lawn so much better?
It's all about being open to those little upgrades.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to experiment to see what works best for you.
Oh, I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
we want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay, I like it.
What's your version 2 project going to be?
What's that one thing you've been meaning to improve?
That version 1 that's been bugging you?
Don't let it just sit there.
Embrace that Aang spirit.
Yeah.
And start thinking about those version 2 solutions.
You might be surprised by what you come up with.
And who knows? Maybe your version 2 will inspire someone else to make their own improvements.
That would be awesome. A ripple effect of positive change.
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of design thinking and continuous improvement.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep seeking out those version 2 moments.
Yeah.
And remember, even the smallest upgrade can make a big difference.
Absolutely.